Okay, so now we come to a very important topic, and this is how do you make your marriage succeed? Now, the advice I have in this section is based on my understanding of evolution and also my observations of humans. I have this section in this longer video, in the longer video called the scientific model for human nature or the human brain. And in that, I discuss how when we do something which is favorable, the brain gives us positive rewards, which I call love. Now, one of the most prominent sources of love is being in a relationship, and this is something which you know this reward can be like happiness. It can be the as part of the best possible life for you. So it is certainly very important marriage, and when we have made a commitment, we call it a marriage. And this has been a very consistent feature of human history that people marry. Okay. Now, here are the tips. Now, at the beginning of your marriage, focus on deepening your love. Uh, Work on your relationship from the very beginning. Now, marriage is something which is different from just having an affair or a relationship because a marriage involves a commitment. And if it's kind of well understood that people act differently when they have a commitment compared to when they don't. Now, in our culture, the commitment from a marriage has weakened. And so, but we do want that commitment from our partner. And we don't want to be in a situation where that commitment is not made and then we do not get the benefits of marriage. So, even though in the culture the commitment may have weakened, you of course have the liberty of making that commitment, and you and your partner should make that commitment. Essentially, if you think that the marriage is not going to last, you're going to act differently, and then you'll not get the benefits, and therefore you should proceed with the assumption that this will be something which is going to last your entire life. The next thing is that you should think of yourself as a team. So it should not be that, okay, what am I doing? What is my partner doing? Rather, it's what the team is doing, and anything that your partner does is also your credit, and anything that you do is also your partner's credit. And similarly, discredit. So, the husband is also what the wife is, and the wife is also what the husband is. And about like thoughts like, I wish she was like that, or she was like that. And if you and your partner have children, then they should be part of the team. And you can think that this team is for protection of others in the team, and the outside world is sort of like something which can be threatening. So just a little paranoid is not bad. It can promote the feeling of being a team. Now, when you start with your marriage, initially, you can have a thing like, what is it that you're looking for in a marriage? It can be that your partner is attractive, you'll have sex, we can do things together like travel, eat out, etc. You'll give gifts to each other, have a glamorous wedding. Now, these are all fine. Uh, you should not really take the financial expenses, be excessive about that. But over time, the essential requirements of a successful marriage are that you feel that you're becoming part of a team and that you have a companion for your entire life. So, this is the greatest resource for a best possible life and other human relationships. Now, you should guard against stress and dissatisfaction from the rest of your life seeping into your relationship. We do live in an age of dissatisfaction. The economy causes us a lot of stress, and we should not allow the stress which the rest of the world is causing us to affect our relationship, and we should always be attempt to be considerate and loving to our partner. Now, give the greatest importance to whatever your partner desires, and try your best to make it happen. And if your partner says that this sort of behavior is not something that is desired, you should try to change that behavior. Make your best effort. Your partner is simply the most important person in your life, and don't kind of make this a power struggle when you're saying, okay, I'm giving this much and then I'm getting that much in return, and I feel like my partner is wanting things from me to behave a certain way in public or whatever, that is something, trying to control me or whatever. Just try to if as far as possible, try to give your partner what he or she desires. If your partner wants your time, don't think that he or she is needy. Rather, think that there is this person who wants to be with me. Somebody. So, of course, while you give importance to your partner should also be reasonable in their expectations, and you should be reasonable in your expectations. So, some of the important things which partners give to each other are caring, time, companionship, praise, financial support, sex, positive reinforcement, material gifts, etc. Of these, the essential requirements are caring, and you should care for your partner, and you should spend time together, that you should give them your time, and companionship. So time and companionship. Okay, so these are the things which are the essential parts of successful relationship. Your partner and your family should be the center of your world. Find things to do with your partner. Spend less time in social events. Just don't kind of have meeting a lot of people all the time, and instead focus on the time that you spend together and build something together. And if you have children, then bringing them up well is a shared project, which will also strengthen your bond. Now, this is a general issue which, the next point is a general issue which is now quite important, and that is just minimize secondhand emotions and vicarious living. We have so much vicarious living now, we are always have these fantasies. You just we want to escape into fantasies. No, that is not good for a relationship. Uh, don't escape into fantasies. Make your relationship with your partner real, and make that if you make it, you should get a lot of value from that, a lot of love from that. Okay. So you have only a finite amount of attention, interest, caring, and love to give, and the first recipient of these should be a partner. You should not make an emotional investment in people you don't know, which a lot of people do because they spend a lot of time thinking about or reading about or watching what these so-called celebrities do. So that is a waste of your emotions that should really be invested in your partner. Now, your prapta, and this is something which again I explain in the part of the longer video about the scientific basis of human nature. So your prapta, which is acquired culture, your beliefs, etc., impacts what you receive from your relationship, and consequently the value that you put on your relationship. Now, if you have a very fantastical notion of life, and that's your prapta, you have a fantastical notion of life in your prapta, then when you receive something from a relationship, the time and the companionship with your partner, you're going to put a less value on it, because you just have these fantastical, other fantasies that you would rather be hoping to have in your life. Okay, so your prapta, the acquired beliefs, culture, etc., also determines what you receive from your relationship. And therefore, you should be very aware of what ideas, what culture, beliefs you are acquiring. And you don't want these to be injurious to your relationship. There is a very common tendency also to promote dissatisfaction with the other gender. And you watch these shows or you read these books, there's just a lot of selected bits of information which increase the animosity towards the other gender. So ignore the warmongers. They are making money by promoting those ideas, but they are not good for you. So ignore them. Whatever media that you consume, it should be the same, because you and your partner should have the same view of the world. You should avoid segmented media, like men watching some kind of media and women watching some other kind of media. I mean, they're living in two separate worlds. And of course, what happens next? What happens next is the media panders. As soon as you have segmented media, the media starts pandering to the men and to the women, because pandering sells. So before you know it, men have acquired fantastical desires which are not going to be fulfilled in the relationship, and same goes for women. Okay, moving on now. It's about halfway through the 20 points that I have. So the next one is avoid faddish notions about human nature and relationships. If you're, especially the young, have this idea that the existing culture or the previous culture was obsolete and not very intelligent, but I- that is not true. There are lots of faddish notions which are actually not very intelligent. And avoid faddish notions. If somebody wants to experiment, let the other people experiment. You have one life, and you don't want to experiment with your life. Look at what has been successful and follow that. And don't be misled by people saying that something has been successful when it actually has not been so. Okay, a bit of change here now, and this is about human touch. One of the lovely things of being in a relationship, you can hold hands when you go to walk for a walk together. Press your bodies when you fall asleep. Do little things for each other, like make breakfast in bed, give each other massages, surprise each other by hugging or saying I love you at unexpected times. Little things, your thought should really be that how can I make my partner happy? And that should be your partner's thoughts also. How he or she can make you happy. And little things through the day are very powerful. Now again, you should understand that we live in the age of dissatisfaction, and this, like work, has made our work less interesting, and this can change our prapta to feel dissatisfied with our real lives and relationships. I have actually already spoken about this, so this is a bit of a repetition. Now focus on the positives of your relationship and your partner. So what you tell yourself is also important. As a practical matter, your partner and your relationship are going to, is going to have positives or negatives. So focus on the positives and think of the negatives as less important. That's the best chance to make your relationship succeed. Develop rituals of togetherness. You can spend half an hour in the morning playing some of these games, which a lot of them are there on the internet. You can play as a team, not really competing against each other. Rather, if it's like a word search, you're kind of helping each other to find the words. Have dinner together. Once a month or more frequently, sit together and just kind of go through this list of items number 1 to 15, just to strengthen your sort of a reminder of how to make your marriage succeed. Now, I'm going to the last 5 points. This is not something which you need a monthly reminder. So the first one is, before you marry, you should discuss what you expect to give and receive. When you marry, usually it's a very romantic. The couple is very happy and they think everything is going to work out. Love conquers all. But really, there are some important issues which you should really cover so that you know what to expect, and it should not become a source of friction or disagreements later on. Understand that over your life there will be changes in your nature, which is manas, and your relationship will evolve and grow accordingly. Of course, as time goes by, the thing which really changes is that you develop a greater and greater feeling of companionship and commitment to the other person. Okay, now as for home, we live in a consumerist society, and this idea through relentless advertising has been put in our minds that more money is always better, but what that doesn't take into consideration is what exactly are you giving up for that more money. And one of the things which actually are one of the greatest source of satisfaction in your life and greatest source of love would be a well kept and well run attractive home. And to have that, it is difficult to do it with both persons working out of the home. So try to do, like, between the two of you, one job or 1.5 jobs. And the one who does, like, is doing the 0.5 job, or the one who's just, does more of the work at home. Now remember, we are a lot wealthier than we were, let's say, 50 years ago. Are we a lot happier? No. You don't really need a lot of material goods to be happy. You just need something, nicely kept, clean, tidy home, attractive home, and don't get into this, go down the rabbit hole of thinking that more and more a more expensive car or a bigger house or a more luxurious vacation and things like that are just going to make you happier. They won't. Okay, now you and your partner, if you can find a community that has a culture which helps to keep a relationship successful. Obviously, if you have a community then which follows this advice, then it becomes you're more likely to succeed if you're part of that community. Again, the 20th point, the last point, is about really if there is injury to your relationship, then salvaging your relationship. We have our desires, and sometimes, we may be committed to our partner, but and we restrain our evolutionary hardwired desires, but sometimes we may fail. So if your partner has failed, what do you do? If your partner has failed, then, or let's start with, like, if you failed, then you should apologize and make other amends. Okay. If your partner has failed, then, just don't overreact and say, oh, this is over. Just give a lot of leeway. You're trying to build and maintain a relationship in which you have companionship. And so ask yourself whether your partner cares for you, still feels part of the team, and is willing to work to make the team succeed. That's really the question to ask. It is not whether your partner has failed and gone astray. The question really is whether the partner is willing to make the effort to make the team succeed. And if you feel the answer is yes, then you can forgive and forget, move forward. If the answer is no, then you tell your partner, you would like the partner to recommit to the relationship and behave in a way that shows commitment to the relationship. So if that doesn't happen even after waiting a few years for the necessary change, then it's a situation that you can actually think of ending the relationship. And don't get too influenced by the stories you read in the media. Okay, be pragmatic rather than dramatic to have the best possible life. Life is not easy. You have to be pragmatic. Things are not going to be perfect. But a relationship, a companionship are still extremely valuable assets for the best possible life. Now, this topic is further discussed in my forthcoming book, The Nature Ternary: Nature of Humans, Nature of Groups, and Nature of Reality.